Good morning, good evening, all of the above. You asked you asked for a watch along. We're doing a watch along. I think you're all going to be very bitterly disappointed. I'm not a very entertaining soccer watcher. I'm pretty chill. You're not going to get like huge reactions out of me unless something insane happens. But generally, I'm a pretty chill watcher. Um a couple details before we start Arini. First off, good morning to see everybody. Uh, Lots of familiar faces, which is fun. Uh, I like change some mic settings, so if there's like more or less background noise than usual, say something. Or if I'm like too quiet. Somebody said on one of the last pod episodes I was too quiet, but I listened to it back and I sounded totally normal. So I don't know. I don't know how that went. Nonetheless, we're gonna go the whole way. And you could always fake it like Goldridge. Who knows? Maybe you'll get a kick sponsorship too. No, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, if there's anything with audio or whatever, let me know. Um, I did invest in a second monitor, so I will have the game on this screen, and you will see this screen, and it'll be fun. It'll be a good time, I think. I mean, I guess we should talk about the lineup now before the game starts. We saw some rotation. We saw some rotation. Uh, we saw some rotation. Kyle Schiller, wish we'd started with the lineup. In future, if we do this again, maybe I will. I had some stuff going on this morning, some secret meetings. So I couldn't, but maybe in the future that's a thing we can do. If we're 6-0 up, Maresca will put on Guiu for Palmer. Blue Yank, big up Kier, kindly recommend an Ipswich spread. I took Ipswich minus 1.25, something like that. I got pretty good odds on it, but I wouldn't take. I would not bet on this game in general. But I think Chelsea would be fine. So we saw like a pretty rotated team. Jorgensen comes in goal, which I'm happy about. The sassy right back is whatever. I would have preferred to see Josh. The back four that I would have picked was Josh right back, Tosin, Disasi, Cucurella. I don't love Colwill going 3 games in a row. Excuse me. I think that's like a reasonably large risk to take with Colwill. Caicedo, Enzo is the midfield. If Lavia is not good to go, Lavia's not good to go. What I heard was that Lavia passed his fitness test but didn't feel great. So he was like, I don't know. So they're holding off. That's what I heard. But we'll see. I think I would have liked to see Lavia today. Madueke and Joe Felix come in as wingers. Palmer stays as the 10. I think this is fine. And then Nkunku for Jackson as the 9, which I think is a good call. The bench is very mid. Actually, what I'm gonna do? Somebody brought this up. My cursor is too small. Pointer. I'm gonna make my pointer bigger. Is this better? This is better. All right, there we go. My pointer is bigger. Somebody asked if I could make my pointer bigger because they said it was hard to see. So now my pointer is bigger. Yeah, so the bench, Sanchez, Achimpong, which is nice. Gusto, James, 3 right backs is kind of weird. I would be pretty surprised if James plays today unless it's like 15 minutes at the end. Vega, Sancho, Guiu, Jackson, Pedro Neto. Basically no midfielders. It's like Vega kind of is the only midfielder. Not seeing a Raksaki or something is weird to me. Uh, and Cassidy not making the bench is unusual to me. It says like has a move lined up. That's what I read to that one. Um, but that's the team. Like, we'll see. If you look at like the betting odds, we should be very comfortable in this game. They are Ipswich have been pretty terrible this year, but I think they looked not awful against Arsenal, and I think they looked not horrific in other games. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. I think it's going to be an interesting game, nonetheless. Hazard, this team screams 4-0 first 45 minutes are horrible 2-1 loss. I think the chances of Chelsea losing this game are very low. What's fun is to go back. So the equivalent game is Burnley. So if you remember, Leicester won the league, Ipswich came second, Southampton won the playoff. Second was Burnley, who came 19th. So 18 matches up with first, 19 matches up with second, 20th matches up with playoff winner. We drew this game 2-2. It was 4.2 to 1.6, and there was a penalty in there. We had a tremendous amount of shots, but we were up 2-0 and then conceded 2, I think, to draw 2-2, including a late one. Up a player for like 60 minutes, which is fairly impressive. So hopefully... Oh, this is Burnley away. I don't think this is the right game, actually. Right game at all. Yeah, I have the wrong game. All right, let's see. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Wasa. Let's see what... It was the 4-1 win, right? Okay. Did we get a penalty in this one? We did. Shocker. 1.1 to 0.7. 0.4. 3, 1.1 to 0.7. Interesting. What was it on shots? Nice. We took 8 shots against Burnley. That's always fun. 8, 10. Exactly a year to the Luton game. I don't know which Luton. 8 box touches allowed. Let's go. That's always fun. 27, 8. Was this the game that we had the like stupid the crazy deflected Sterling goal? Also, I have my ASA mug. You can enjoy my ASA mug. Okay, what time is it? Guess I can open Peacock on this side now. Put my headphones in so you don't hear it though. Okay. Beautiful time of the year. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. I think this is going to be a weird one. I think Chelsea should be pretty comfortable. I'm not super worried. I expect this is what it will look like from a structure standpoint. This is what I suspect. But we'll see. Do we all have our blood pressure meds at hand for when we get 1 sub 90th minute? I'd be really surprised. I'd be really disappointed. I'd be really surprised. This is how I expect it to set up. Ipswich are like pretty pressy. In possession, they tuck the left winger in, and they get the left back around in Leif Davis. And they play a tremendous amount through Sam Morsi, who's the guy who, if you recall, was the guy who refused to wear the rainbow armband because of his religious beliefs, despite wearing a gambling sponsorship. So just gonna put that out there. But that's my guess at how Chelsea's gonna look up. Felix will go inside, Cucurella will go around. That's my guess. And sometimes we'll see it flip. Like sometimes we'll see this. Sometimes we'll see this. I also got to make sure I have the right. Got to be one tired double pivot. Yeah, dude, these guys are going. They're going to be in the weeds physically, I think. But this is what I expect. Oluwadara Fagboen. I apologize. I definitely butchered your name. 316 Enzo right hand side. I don't think so. I bet you it'll be this though. I bet you it'll be this. I don't know actually. I don't know. My guess is it won't be 316 though, like this. My guess is it won't be this just because generally what we've seen this year is the games we go 316 are the games we play a back five. And I don't think Ipswich will end up like this defensively, so we won't see 316. That's my guess, is that we'll see 3-2. And they'll try and draw one of these guys forward to play into the pockets. And I bet you this is going to be very similar to the Leicester game where we get to play two real pocket players and it actually works. That's my working theory right now. Is that we get to go into those pocket players. The other. I gotta make sure my peacock is also working. It's not. Let's see. What's up, Kier? Thanks again for the article you sent me. It was of interest to read. So yeah, Pano. So Pano is asking about the Madueke clips because Madueke works with like an individual skills coach, and that skills coach sends 800 million pictures of him dribbling around stationary cones and shooting at nothing. So, okay, hold on. I don't know. Interesting. So Peacock, this is very unrelated. Peacock has like anti-screen recording software. So because my OBS is running, Peacock won't run. Like it's just running blank. It's like you guys can see, like there's nothing on my Peacock. But it's not looking at this screen. If I move it to this screen. No. All right. Well, not that I ever would advocate for such a thing, but I pay for the service and it doesn't want to let me use it. So, no, I have it on a second monitor. Elliot Sherman, I have it on a second monitor. This is how I have it set up. It's on, like, let me show you. I actually have 3 monitors set up right now. This is a disaster. So I've got 1 and 2, and then I have the MacBook one. So I have 3 monitors, and it doesn't like it. Okay. So I don't advocate for this, but you know what that means. I think it just sees that like I'm recording any of my screen, and it's like, no, you're not allowed. So, not that I would ever advocate for this, but there's a really easy solution here, and it is what it is. Wow, that kind of stinks to know that it doesn't do that. Huh. Yeah, we're gonna be going janky stream time. Absolutely. Does anybody have a recommended one? I haven't done this in a while. Where can you pop out a chat on YouTube? What do you mean? Can I pop out a chat on YouTube? I don't know what that means. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, cool. I have it on my phone. Hey, oh, what did it? Here we go. Okay, so that's there. Oh, interesting. This is very good content. You guys, me trying to find a stream because Peacock doesn't like it. Okay, all right. I think I found. It's funny. I guess I have to actually like run it on a second like thing, second instance. That's not on the same computer. Okay. Cool. Well, we will be very behind, and that's okay. That's okay. This is not a piping hot take, but I find math stream. Yeah, there are a lot of unusual pop-ups that I'm glad I have this on a second. Say, I'm very glad I have this on a second. 40 is not that many. 40 would be like pretty low for a post-match stream. Yeah, 40 would be on the low end for a post-match stream. But we'll see. Wow, this stream is really behind. I don't want to watch this. I'm gonna be like, it's probably 3-0 already. We've taken a shot already. Huh, okay. We're gonna get creative here. We're gonna get really creative here. On my do 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 do. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it will have. Let's see. Let's see. Any credence to the chatter linking us with the lap? Not that I've heard. Oh, that's a great turnover. No way. Oh, good block. Okay, great start. I certainly love. Okay, so I cannot screen mirror this. Let's see. Who sent me? He sent me. It's a great start, though. That's a great start. It is shades of Potchball. That is absolutely true. That's such a bad turnover, man. I am at 424. So I'm a little bit behind FOTMob. But remember that me saying I'm at 424 is like 15 seconds ahead of you hearing it. So I'm big. Just pretend I'm in line with whatever you're seeing on your screen on FOTMob. When is the Omari dagger coming? Hopefully never. Hopefully never. Oh, it is. It is Enzo higher. Okay. I actually like low key like Awasa. I just got your DM. Let's see if this works. Oh my god, you weren't kidding. It is like a sketchy Polish website. Nice. Hmm. I interesting. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I've got thank you, Wasa, for sending me a dodgy Polish stream. Arena Sport Uzivo. Interesting. It's 4-2 build, which is surprising. Uh I'm not into Delap, by the way. Not my kind of guy. I think he's interesting though. I think he's kind of interesting. I have it on the Croatian stream. I'm not really listening to them because I lack the like my brain cannot function with sound and talking at the same time. Can't do it. Got see the chat. Okay. Nice little switch from Enzo. So it is Enzo. Like that's not a great touch. That's really frustrating. Enzo's like deeper and left, but he's actually not that deep. He's like pretty straight up 10. Like it's more like this with Palmer right pocket. I don't know who said this that 3161, but like actually it's definitely 316. No, I think it's this. I think it's this. But oh no, it's Gorillas out here. I don't know. Pretty fluid so far. Let's see. It's such a rubbish. Panofooty Zimas from Nuremberg. Yeah, you love your Greek guys. You want your Greek guys for sure. Elliot Sherman, the guys I want more than Delapis, Chris Wood. Yeah. I just think you need that like bruiser type for you need that like bruiser type. Alex doesn't look up for this. I don't know. That it's a little harsh. No, not the greatest of starts is correct. This has been, but decidedly not that tired. Decidedly not that tired. Pano Footy, the Keir Doyle official Greek correspondent. Pano, you ever want to hit me up with Greek player reviews? We can talk about them. Yeah, this has been pretty poor so far. Ooh. Oh. Ref's given a pen. I don't think this is a pen. Oh, I don't think this is a penalty though. I want to see the replay, but it didn't look like a pen to me. That's a hell of a pass by Leaf Davis though. It might be. No, never a pen. That's a yellow for simulation. This is ridiculous. Yeah, this is a yellow for simulation. No, for sure it's yellow for simulation. That's embarrassing. The ref gave it real time. Let's see if he gives it after the review. No, he gave it. And the Lapis scored. His Fatmop is ahead of me. That's ridiculous. There's no contact. What are we doing here? Wait, not in 100 years is that a penalty? Unless there's another angle I'm not seeing, not even close to a penalty. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. Good pen though. Great pen. I still don't see the contact. I still don't see it. Yeah, I did tweet angrily. I don't see it. Can you guys hear when I type? Can you hear the clicky clicks? Because that's pretty funny if you can. That's an insane decision to me. Like I don't think in a million years is that a penalty. Oh, you can hear the clicky click. Okay. Almost as loud as the talking. That's alarming. Oh, good save. I've been like low key pretty impressed with Jorgensen. But he's been much better than I was expecting. Sorry, I won't type then. I'll send it from my phone so you don't hear the tappy tap. I'll send tweets and stuff from my phone. That was not going in anyways. Oh, I don't. Yeah, he does murder the ball at the lap. The guy can sing it. I don't know how I feel about this. This is not looking great, my friends. Oh, and it's like Superman Marky. Like, look at Tosin and Colwill. Like, it's real man. Oh, this is gonna hit all the this is gonna hit all the red flags today. I can already tell. I can already tell it's gonna hit all the red flags. Oh, I don't want to have the fought mob up because it's ahead of me. I don't like it. Man, we've given up a lot of penalties this season, feels like. It's foot on foot. I don't know. I don't see the foot on foot. Oh, great turnover, Caicedo. Lovely. Oh, this is so rubbish. This is. I don't feel good right now, my friends. I don't feel good. Maresca struggled against Ipswich both games last year. It was 1-1 and it was 1-1 both games, but the first one they got outplayed and the second one was even. They did not look great in both of them. They were two of the games that I watched when I was doing the Maresca video, and I was like, ooh, don't know how I feel about these ones. Ew. And then I watched them against Southampton, and I thought they looked really good. So, swings and roundabouts. Are they going to show the contact here? Because I don't. It's never. I understand they show this back angle. There is no contact there. That is not a penalty. I cannot believe that this has not been overturned still. Whatever, you should be able to come back against Ipswich, but like, come on, what are we doing here? It's a very frustrating officiating decision. Yeah, that's okay. Go, Christo. This is why I don't love Kunku's just gonna go sit out on the wing for half an hour now because he hasn't touched the ball enough. This is what I don't like. Let's see. Let's see. We've made subs when we're losing. Like that has been a thing. But like, I don't know. Here's the 5-2-3. Yeah. Yep. Drop in. There it is. Right winger drops and tracks. You are not wrong. Not wrong. And it is Enzo high. It is very much this player drops and you end up like this with Hutchinson. This is what it looks like. It's actually this, which is not what I expected. Yeah, like that's the action you should be able to just like rinse and repeat. Is Madueke getting goal line or Madueke getting like semi-contested 1v1s and you just like get numbers in the box. That's the action you should be able to get pretty consistently. Also, has anybody noticed that FOTMob lately has been like the in-game addition is wrong? It's like they have it 0.44 to 0.2. Like that's not correct. Like it's not including the penalty. I don't know. Very weird. Like I don't know. This has been a very fast 20 minutes. A very fast 20 minutes. This feels like 1-1. Maybe. Free kick, yep, thank you. Okay, free kick on the edge. Let's see. I don't know how this isn't a yellow, to be honest with you. I don't know how that's not a promising attack, but alas, I'm not an official. Yeah, how's that not a yellow? I don't know. It's a good question, my friend. It's a good question. Let's see. Let's see. Stick this one in the top corner. Cole Palmer. Palmer's last couple free kicks have been like kind of bad. Keeps hitting the wall. Wouldn't hate letting Enzo hit this one. We did a free kick against Everton that they did a little shift. So like Palmer touches it to Enzo who stops it and then Palmer hits it to shift the wall. But Palmer tried to go over the wall still. I would love for them to do exactly that free kick here and then hit it back keeper side. Because when you do the shift, the keeper moves like this. The keeper moves, and then you can hit it back across them. Oh, come on. Oh, Nkunku. Dude. They did the shift and shoot, though. I called it beforehand. Set piece merchant, Kieran Doyle, calls it beforehand. Shift and shoot. Yikes. Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, Nkunku gets hit with more contact there than Delap does. So that's a funny one. Sigh. Sigh. That's gonna be a funny. So I wonder what this has the. Yeah, except the fact that the keeper's lying on the floor. It's like a 0.8. 0.8 is aggressive. But I think those actions of like when they end up here and it's 5-2-3 deep. I think those actions are going to be very reliable for Chelsea today. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? I don't like this official already, man. That's a truly awful penalty decision. And now you're like The lap initiates contact. I don't understand. It is 6 and a dozen. Like, I don't understand. It's very frustrating. Whatever. Games happen. It's a great little pass, Gorilla. Yep. Oh yeah, great goal. Let's go. Let's go. That's a hell of a pass by Cole Palmer. Let's see. Is it off? Wasa, clearly you're ahead of me, even though I'm on your link. So I don't know how that's happening, but yeah, he's off. He's definitely off. That's okay. That's okay. But hey, he's as off as there was contact, so maybe it'll get given. I don't know. You never know. Maybe it'll get given. It'll magically get ignored by the officials. Possible, you never know. You never know. Sorry, I apologize for my drinking. Thirsty man. Gotta stay hydrated. We got water with blueberry stir, which is like one of those like flavor water things. In my World Cup 2018 Argentina Nigeria Budweiser cup. This used to have LEDs in it that would light up by how loud you were. So in the stadiums, if you cheered a goal, you would get your cup would like go crazy and light up. And the louder you cheered, the more it lit up. It was pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, what are they? I don't. This is not a hard decision. Like, even a little bit. I don't understand. What are they checking? Oh, actually, this actually looks closer. I bet you this is closer than we think it is. I bet you this is closer than we think it is. Because of the parallax of the cameras. I bet you this is closer than we think it is. Yeah. I think it's off, but it looks when you like adjust the parallax stuff, I bet you it's way closer than you think it is. I'd love to see the lines for it, but Josh, how are you planning on going to World Cup 26 games? Yeah, I would like to. I want to see Canada's opener in Toronto, and I want to see the final. That's my goal for the tournament, but we'll see. I'd also quite like to see the US play, but that'll be pretty difficult. But I want to see Canada's opener in Toronto. Oh. That looked really nasty to me. That looked awfully nasty to me. It's a yellow. It's not a red. It's a yellow. It's dangerous play, but it's not a red, I don't think. But once you go straight leg like that, you're asking for it. That's to me that's a yellow card. I don't think that's I think that's not a red card. Obviously, VAR can't go back and give that to you. Yeah, okay, there we go. 0.7 on the Nkunku chance now. I don't know how this is 0.39. Generally, block shots get like a huge negative get a huge negative XG penalty because they infer that if it's blocked, like the shot wasn't very open. I'll be curious to see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, but I think what I was saying before this was I think getting these like central entries into Nkunku, Felix, Palmer with Enzo underneath them is going to be really, really, really important. Really, like, can you get the central ones to go right at the center backs? Well, we'll see. City had a lot of joy, like baiting the press and then playing into depth. Like if you remember that game, they scored 2 crazy goals off of like they rotated like KDB out here, and then they'd have him play. Oh, see, it's harder when the cones defend you. Oh, Cucurella. It's a good chance. I don't think it's a handball. I think it hit him in the face. It's a nice transition, though. What would have been really fun is if the referee stopped it for a head injury as the ball fell to Cucurella there. Enzo, right side of the pitch, immediately plays the through ball. Very funny. Very funny, that. Very interesting finding. Enzo Fernandez, right side of the pitch. Wonder if that was going to go in. I don't mind Cucurella shooting there. It's like a bit of a scrambly situation. I do appreciate that Nkunku is sprinting, though. I do appreciate that. I just wish he was sprinting more. Go, Noni. I mean, that looked awfully like a Caicedo handball that wasn't given. So it's just going to be one of those days. I will say, Tosin Delap is like very funny. Did we ever find out why Nani was on the naughty step last week? Allegedly, this is not my information, and I have not heard it from people I particularly trust. Allegedly, he was late for a meeting. Him and Vega were late for meetings. And he said, okay. That's a foul. So if this is a yellow, and this is a way less dangerous situation than the other foul on the edge of the box, how is the other one not a yellow? I do not understand. But yes, I think repeating those actions is important. Can you get the 10s on the half turn? Maybe this is for accumulation. It's the first foul on Felix though, and I don't think that guy. I don't know who just got fucked. But O'Shea, how many fouls does he have? It's his first foul. Maybe Brighton beating Villa, Newcastle beating United. Interesting. I'd like Brighton to draw, and I'd like Newcastle to draw. I don't want them. This is a very frustrating game. Well done, Felix. Foul. Yeah, I think like I'm glad Palmer is like getting on the ball and upping the tempo. That's going to be like a big thing here. Is not letting this settle into stagnant play. Like you actually want them to try and counter, and you want them to play fast. I retract my Felix not being up this. I think Felix has been like I really disliked the transfer as well, but I think he's been largely fine. Like certainly not as bad as his criticism has been, in my opinion. I don't think he's been great or anything. I just think he's been useful. And like once he's here, it's not his fault that they made a bad transfer for him. You know what I mean? The lap is funky, man. Wonder if we see James at the half if it stays 1-0. For Disassi, maybe? I'd be very surprised if he was I'd be very surprised if he was 45 minutes fit after being 0 minutes fit 4 days ago. I'd be very surprised. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, Nani. That's a great pass from Colwell. Caicedo, go on. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, that was a great cross by Colwell. Did we find out where Lavia is? No. I think he's just injured. Yikes. That's a great jump from Caicedo. It's a great jump by Caicedo. But I like these actions of like load of having multiple guys on the like on the seam run. That's no. Yeah, I mean, take out the penalty and like it's been no penalty, you would be fine with this half, which is really annoying. You wouldn't be happy, but you'd be fine with it so far. This has been much better than the last two games, I would say. Ugh. Let's see. Great little entry, though. Great little entry pass. And then just like... So if you want to be... That's a great pass from Tosin. This is that like where you want to complain about João Felix. Like this is the moment where it's like, oh, dude, if he slips in Nkunku there, it's a goal. Like that's the one you have to make the slip pass to Nkunku. You have to, because it's this here, and he's in. That's the one where like, if you want to be critical of João Felix, that's the moment that it's like, yeah, nah, he's not the guy. Because you slip in Nkunku and it's a goal. Or it's a much better chance, anyways. Maybe if it's not a goal, it's still a very good chance. Okay, well done, Nani. I appreciate that. Cut inside, connect through Enzo. Connect through Enzo and get out. Yeah, do it 8 passes earlier, dude. Fuck. Sorry, I'm gonna try not to swear. Yeah, and now Nani's like cosplaying as an 8 because he didn't release the ball. Yeah, find Levi. Yes, and then dribble. Go. Yeah, that like semi-transition through Felix is really frustrating. He should have slipped in Nkunku. Should have slipped in Nkunku. I am quite liking this front four right now, though. I like Felix until his final action. He always seems to get it wrong. I think he just chooses to shoot too often. But like of the available decisions, like it's not a terrible thing to choose to shoot a little too often, especially for a team who lacks shot volume. Sassy gets done. That's a hell of a pass. Good save. Good save. That's. I'm glad that Jorgensen like stays up there and doesn't cheat back post. It would have been very easy for him to lean back post here. And he doesn't. He just stays up. I don't think it's going in anyways, but it's a pretty good save. Especially with that much pace. Delap is fun. He's having a good game. Chelsea are going to end up spending too much money on him in January now because of this. Just watch. I can totally see the sporting directors being those guys who are like, oh, we buy players who play good against us. Good block. Block. Yikes. Well, this has certainly been a game. The Ziyech effect. To be fair, that's also how we ended up with Salah. Because Salah absolutely barbecue chickened Ashley Cole in Champions League for Basel. It's just a little slow. Build has been really not great. Let's see. Yeah, turn and you're gone. And now if Palmer gets higher, Palmer gets higher. He keeps doing this. Like, Chelsea finally get a way to link, and Palmer shows here instead of getting here. So he's never, like, last line playing the slip or getting the shot himself. Like, he's just a little too low in transition. And maybe it's because he's gassed. I don't know. I quite like Felix's runs into the box, though. It opens up a lot. I wish Nkunku would go do the same thing. Instead of dropping in to receive so frequently. No, like you don't have the numbers in the box for that cross. Like you need Enzo and Palmer and Nkunku and Felix. Like you have to get 4 in the box if you're going to play that cross. One on your back. Great pass and drive. There we go. It's like, see the difference there? Because Felix isn't so low. Like when Palmer plays the swing to him, you have the numbers there. It's a good chance. It's a really well worked position. It's a very well worked action. But like, see the difference there though? Like, because Felix starts high, when Palmer plays that swing, because he's in this window to receive it, he gets to drive and create all these amazing chances out of it instead of dropping a line deeper. And then when you do get it, you can't accelerate anymore. Like that's the big thing is when you find like there's some coaches call it playing across the game. It's like if you draw a line from the defender to the goal, can you play across that line? It makes sense. Let's see. Chelsea just had 5 guys warming up before halftime. I wonder if we're going to see some subs. I actually would like very firmly not change anything now. Where yeah, like I would very much not change anything right. Let's see. Enzo is a good passer, but doesn't strike me as a tempo changer. Is that a fair distinction to make? He's a lot of useful things, but 100 million midfielder isn't one of them. No, I think he's like pretty good at accelerating a team, but it's more like the ball than it is him. Like, it's not like he receives it and moves it quickly. It's like he plays some pass that breaks a line or whatever that is he breaks a line or something with his passing that like really really zips you up the pitch. Um yeah. I'm pretty I'm curious to see how this goes. I would right now not change anything. Like I would leave this as is. I think this is you are generating like quite a few good shots. You have 8 shots above average quality. Like some of them are blocked. They're in pretty good locations. I would not. And you like have moments like this with Madueke where like if his touch is better, you get an amazing chance. And like the Felix chance is like half a yard offside. Like these are fine. You wouldn't do Josh for Disassi. No, this is fine. I don't feel the need to do it. And I'm not gonna burn a sub just to do it. I'm not gonna burn a sub just to do it. Let's see. Extra time bingo. I'm going for 4 minutes. But let's see. Hmm. I think the change I expect will come is yeah, see Nani is late to step and then the whole press is toast. Nani is late to step, the whole press is toast, and now you get them running in behind, and it's like another scary moment, and somehow they get a I don't know. United are getting hammered. What's the score? 2-0. Yikes. Another Olympico. That's crazy. Almost an Olympico. That would be wild. That's a good pass. Yep. What a save. Come on. Come on. Again, like these are good actions. That's a great little pass from Enzo. Come on. Is that a save or did it just hit the bar? No, that's a very good save. All right, Bernardo Cueva, give me a nice little corner goal. Tosin, bang it off his forehead. Ugh. Yeah, this is. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Somebody falls over at the back post. Shocker. Did you guys see what Ipswich did against Arsenal? Where he like just shoved Havertz off the pitch so he couldn't make the back post run. Thought that was quite funny. Okay, Disassi, don't foul, please. I mean, that's very stupid. The referee's gonna call a foul if you do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Axel. And now you've killed a minute of added time. What? I definitely don't. I don't know. I guess that went out, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm not enjoying this official. I don't know his name though. Go to the names. Huh? Uh Normally FOTMUB has the ref. I don't see it. John Brooks. John Brooks, not enjoying you, Mr. Brooks. Not enjoying you, Mr. Brooks, at all. I wonder if at some point Chelsea are going to buy a left-footed 6. Just because you end up with like, oh, didn't love that one, Mr. Tosin and a Rabayo. This is my worry, is like you end up where this line is so deep and the two are so tight to them that like there's actually no room. Like you end up like this and it's just not breakdownable. Like there isn't enough space. That's my worry, is that you end up somewhere like that. But I think like Felix is a good player to have on the pitch. Enzo just hammered that guy. Might just go to bed. I think we'll be fine. Again, Maresca's halftime adjustments have in general been pretty good. Chelsea have flattened teams in the second half. They've generally been pretty good. So like, let's see. Oh, go forward. Look at the time. Go forward. Take risks. Yes, back post. Yes. Sure. That's another reason why I actually quite like Felix. He's very decent in the air. So like having him arriving at the back post in those like Cucurella-y spots is like, I think, a pretty big mismatch actually if you choose to play direct there. Or not direct, but you choose to cross the back post. All right. Well, it was a half. At halftime, call it 1.3, 1.3 with the penalty. Like you'll take that, I think. Like, well, you won't take it because you're losing, but like I think Chelsea have broadly been fine. Which is not fine because it's just fine, if that makes sense. But not the best half, but not the worst half either. Tosin does like those scooped through walls. So, I call them cherries. I don't really know why, but I call them cherries. Oh, I forgot. Sorry if I clicky. That's loud. Kier, if the Nani Vega naughty step thing is correct, do you agree with that approach as a manager? I mean, I think setting a culture is very important. I think setting a culture is very important. I think one of the things I'm somewhat skeptical of is like if Cole Palmer is late for a meeting, is Cole Palmer being left out of the squad? Or is he being dropped to the bench? Like what? It's important that it's like rules for everyone and it's not you're just applying it to people of relatively low standing in the squad. But in general, I am supportive of having a culture of accountability and respect. And if that's how you choose to go about it, I'm not super mad about it. Like I will say, like our rule at the university I coached at was if you are late for training, or a meeting or film or whatever, it was a fine, but not a monetary fine. We had like a wheel. We had a wheel of like punishments, but the punishments are like you have to sing or you have to wear a costume in training or like whatever, like fun things. But if you were late on match days, those were, if you were starting, you would drop to the bench. If you were on the bench, you'd be dropped from the squad. That was our rule for match days. But for training and for meetings and for everything else, it was like it was like small punishments, and then if you had 3, there would be like a more serious punishment because it was becoming a habit. So, and it was like that was only true for 5 minutes. Anything more than 5 minutes and it was like a serious thing. Or like without a message. Like if you're stuck in traffic or like your subway broke down or whatever, or you're coming from class or whatever it was, um, that's different. And those things can be communicated like adults. Like if Nani is late for a meeting because he's stuck in traffic or because his car broke down or whatever, like that's different. But I don't know. We'll see. Uh yeah, that's my feeling. Oh, Xerxes got yanked at 33. That hurts, bro. Yikes. 3 of 9 passes yanked to 33 is crazy. Yeah, Ruben Amriam, have fun. That's a yikes. Your correct decision and 3 inches for being up 1-0 and pretty dominant. Yeah. I mean, but you're not, which is tough. Again, I think Chelsea have been fine. I don't think we've been good. I think we've been fine. But I don't know. By the way, if we lose this, I'm definitely never doing this again. If we lose this, no chance we're doing a watch along again. Serverlane, wow, I love Joao Felix. What a great signing. Again, it's a bad signing, but I think he's fine. Like it's a bad signing for like reasons separate to Joao Felix's existence as a player. He is a perfectly fine player. Nani, this is what I get for giving you props for private training. Comster one, has Jorgensen been better than you thought? Yeah, I would say so. I would say so for sure. I don't know how this is. I guess this is not including his penalty. I would certainly say so. I think I will say I think the 0.99. So he's actually at 1.4. So he's not bad. So I think the things with Jorgensen that I was right about and that I was wrong about. So right about like the hands like are legit a problem. He doesn't hold anything. Everything is like juicy, bouncy rebounds. He pushes everything away. Very strong hands, wrist, yes, Pano, but he pushes everything away, which is fine. It's better than spilling it. Sometimes he spills. I think he's like fine with his feet. I think he's like an okay to good shot stopper. I think the thing that I was wrong about that has really grown is he's been much better claiming crosses than he's been much better claiming crosses than I anticipated. He has like really made a concerted effort to position himself much more aggressively for cutting out cutbacks and crosses and stuff like that, which is really nice. And I wouldn't be shocked if that's like a no more Hilario thing, because Bob Sanchez is a very aggressive cross taker and is quite good at it. And it's like, I think, a super, super valuable skill. So that I think is valuable. Serverlane, Jorgensen and Kepa combined into one keeper would be an all-timer. No, I don't think there's anything Kepa does better than Jorgensen. I'll put it that way. How difficult is it for a keeper to transition from a pusher to a grabber, so like a parrier to a catcher? Is that more of an instinct thing? It's hard. Like, I think the thing we have to be cognizant of is in the Premier League, like the guys shooting hit the ball hard. It's very difficult to catch shots in the Premier League. Like, you look at the shots Jorgensen faces today, which one should he hold? So like having your default be I'm going to push this away is largely fine. Like it's as much a style thing as I think about anything. You know what I mean? So I'm not super concerned about that. But yeah, he's been good. Boris Lindebank, what's going wrong at set pieces? We don't seem to be able to generate anything. I mean, Chelsea have been pretty comfortably the better team on set pieces today. Like, yeah, one of those is a shooting free kick. It's hard to be mad about that. Like, if I pull up, I'll pull up Chelsea's season set piece XGD. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Alisson is an excellent. His handling is phenomenal. His handling is phenomenal. Yeah, I think the problem with Jorgensen is like the location of his parries more than that he parries. You know what I mean? Like you have to push those shots into better spots. Yeah, Chelsea are 0 non-penalty expected goal difference for the year. Last year they were like minus 0.1 per game. Like that's a 4. That's a very big. Yeah, I think that's fine. What else we got in here? So sad we never signed Alisson that summer. I've said like that's the Kepa transfer is the most disastrous transfer in the history of Chelsea because like the Torres transfer is bad, but like Chelsea moved on from it reasonably quickly. He was fine. He wasn't great, but he just like did his thing and then moved on. And it didn't stop Chelsea from buying other strikers. They still went and got Diego Costa or whatever. Chelsea didn't pay for Alisson to pay more for Kepa. So you have like this huge swing in value straight off rip. And then you have on the flip side of that, because Kepa has been an anchor financially, they have not gone and bought a top keeper. Like there was Mendy did a podcast the other day about how Chelsea were looking at swapping him to Milan for Mainan or Menyon or however you say it. Like, and I'm sure they didn't do it because his wages were massive and they still had Kepa on the bill, and you can't do it. So, yeah, pretty tough. Torres is close as he basically got Carlos sacked trying to fit him in. I don't know. Maybe. And it's hard. Like, maybe Aguero doesn't hit the same way. He probably does, but maybe he doesn't. We never know. Aguero was a pretty big miss. So maybe it is as bad. But I think, like, Chelsea have had many more issues at goalkeeper than they ever did at striker over the years. Like, for all the criticism of Morata and Lukaku and Costa and so on, like, Chelsea have always gotten a reasonable number of goals from their strikers. Really, it's just like the one, like the Werner Havertz season, they didn't get much. That's about it. And even then, you had Giroud, who still scored at like a pretty good clip. Yeah, we didn't need a striker because Lampard kept hitting 15 a year. Yeah, that's true. NBA takes for halftime. My NBA takes are that the Raptors suck. And that's it. And that people complaining about 3-pointers don't like basketball anyway, so you shouldn't listen to them. Those are my NBA takes. That the NBA's problems with their ratings and their perception is that people complain about the league instead of talking about how amazing it is. Wemby did a step-through dunk from outside the key and didn't leave the floor last night. Do you know how sick that is? Wemby is a freak of nature. You should be talking about the amazing things that guy does every single night. Christmas Day was like, I sat on my couch and didn't move for 10 hours just watching the most incredible basketball you've ever seen. Like, I don't know how and stuff like that happens every night in the NBA. You should be talking about how sick it is every day. It's the same thing about the Premier League. Like, people complain. Like, some people are like, oh, everybody plays the same. But like, it's not objectively untrue. You have, like, the coolest. You have all the best coaches in the world. You have most of the best players in the world. Like, of the top 25 coaches in the world, 15 are in the Premier League. It is legitimately the best soccer every day. I don't know. It's cool. Christmas Day NBA better than Boxing Day Prem this year. I don't know what it is about the holiday schedule this year for the Premier League. It just didn't really hit. It didn't really hit. I don't know if it's because like we didn't get very many like top 6 games, but it didn't really hit like that. Would I reduce the number of games? Yeah, probably, but like that's never gonna happen. They're never going to they're never gonna reduce the amount of inventory when they just sold a big TV deal based on it. I think the other thing is like reducing you talk about reducing the number of games, and there's some implication that players will try harder. And they certainly will because they'll be less tired. Like no back to backs would be an objectively good thing for the NBA, but I don't know if I don't know. We'll see. Uh, it's a bit too Markov Cheney. I feel like I can just watch the last 8 minutes without losing too much. Yeah, they do. I think that is a legitimate thing that like the last minutes of the game go too slow. Like that, I think is a thing. But we'll see. We'll see. Am I going to any Club World Cup games? No. There's none near me. I think Seattle is the closest one. And I think Seattle is the closest one. And they're like crazy expensive. They're crazy expensive, is my understanding. Second half has started. Why is my stream not? Do I think we turn this around? Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. Croatian stream is back. We got this. Do I think we turn this around? Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. We've been fine. Like the balance of probabilities are that we'll probably score. No subs at halftime, which is fine. Let's see. Does anyone know what the money is for winning the Club World Cup? It's 100 million allegedly. It's allegedly 100 million. 30 million for participating, 100 million if you win. If what's interesting is if the money for Club World Cup is real, because like basically the like reporting on this is that DAZN and the Saudis have bailed out FIFA's inability to generate sponsors for the tournament in exchange for the World Cup, which, as far as like Machiavellian FIFA schemes go, honestly, very low on the totem pole. Yeah, blocked on the line. Come on. Oh, slide wide. Another big chance. Blocked on the line. If we score one, we'll score four. Yeah. Least corrupt FIFA scheme. And crazy that if you get there as an African team, it's running costs for 2 years. Yeah, it's even the MLS teams, like the salary alone for most MLS teams is between $15 and $20 million, right? Like Miami are a little bit different, but like for Seattle, it will basically pay their wages for 2 years almost. It won't pay the other stuff around the club, but it'll pay your wages for 2 seasons just being there. So like I think like a robust real Club World Cup I think is actually a good thing. I know there's a lot of negatives around it, but I think it's a good thing. I think you have to find a way to like make it fit. Like, does the Confederations Cup still exist? Because like I would ditch that for the Club World Cup. I think that would be cool. I don't know. I don't know if the Confederations Cup still exists. Big chance. Chance. Let's see. Nah, Confederation's gone. They're using that window there. Okay, so they are doing that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't love that the World Cup's going to be in Saudi. I do think there's like a. Um, I do think in general the like spreading of the World Cup is good. Like the World Cup should go to lots of places. I don't like these like multi-country ones though. Cuz like the whole thing is that like you can travel between venues. Like you can follow your team. Like Russia was cool. I went to Russia and Russia was sick because you could go to we flew into St. Petersburg and took a train from Ooh. Make a good decision. And of course he shoots from a terrible angle. Of course he does. What else is new? Just rip it across the face and you get a tap in or a deflection or whatever. It's a great pass from Disasi though. See, if you rip that across the face, then Kunku probably scores. Let's see, another corner. Goal. How does it not go in? Where's that guy who was talking about no set pieces? We just had a ball drop in the 6-yard box. Oh, mate, it literally hits Colwill on the goal line. Ugh. That's not going to get recorded as a shot, but like that's a huge set piece chance. Good goalkeeping. That's really good goalkeeping. It's really good goalkeeping. Yeah, like I think Qatar was like a little bit much in terms of places to put it. But I do think like spreading it is good. Like it's you have to balance those two. I also think like that it's just like the whole thing is so messy. But you really need to like think about how you can get between the stadium. Like the US is going to be such a disaster because there's no like national transit network. Like it's only flights between them. And you just know that like domestic flights are going to be so expensive that whole month instead of being affordable. Like the cool thing about Russia was if you had a ticket to the match, your train was free. And it was the only way you could get the like FIFA trains. So there were FIFA trains between all the stadiums every single day. Around it was like the day before and the day after, or 2 days and 2 days before and 2 days after. So like those 4 days. Those 4 days around a match in every place that was hosting a match. So like for whatever in Moscow, you have a game Tuesday, Friday. There's trains into Moscow every day. Same with St. Petersburg. But if you're going to like Ekaterinburg, there's like many fewer. There's many fewer trains. Like they're just around the games. But in the U.S., like what you're not getting a train from Dallas to New Jersey, and like you can get a flight from Dallas to Newark, but like FIFA's not going to pay for it. Much cheaper to run a train than it is to run that. I am curious to see what the fan zones look like in the US too, because that's another thing is like in Toronto, the fan zone is going in the parking lot next to the stadium. There's a big parking lot. Whereas like the St. Petersburg fan zone is literally in oh, Disassi, what are you doing? No. Don't foul. Come on, Disassi. Why? You fucking idiot. Whoever said we should have subbed him is right. Oh my god, you're so garbage. You're so garbage. You are so garbage. You're so garbage. Chelsea been totally fine too. That's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, sure, Elliot, you did have the Hutchinson dagger. There you go, 53 minutes. And it's him who gets skinned by him. And it's him who gets. You are actually garbage. Actually garbage. Fuck off. Go to Newcastle. Do not pass go. God damn it. No, there's nothing with Nani 10-yard touch backward. Like, this is purely the Felix coming off. That feels harsh to me, but whatever. Oh, what are we doing? I'm definitely not doing this again. All right, well, let's see. Sigh. Yeah, I mean, where else is Nkunku going if Jackson's on the pitch? It's not Jackson winger. Plus, it's Nkunku left hand. I swear to fuck. Why are you? Oh my god. Need another coffee. Sigh. What are we doing here? I'm gonna end up on some fucking YouTube compilation just screaming at this Aussie by the end of today. This guy sucks so bad. Get off the pitch. I don't understand. Like, it's actually not. It's not structural. It is not a structural issue to have him not pass the ball to the other team striker. Like, how about that? Like, it's actually not. Like, it's not tactical. Like, just don't do that. Oh, it can. It can get worse than this. Because Maresca's never rotating ever again. He's never rotating. Yeah, but the Sassy at right back experiment fails because of the right back stuff. That wasn't the right back stuff. That was him passing it to the other team. Like, that was not like him failing as a right back. That was him failing as a soccer player at all. Like, this guy's played like 20 times for France. Captained like a Champions League level Monaco team for multiple years. Like, the guy can play. And it's just going to be a track meet the other way. That's a penalty. It's a penalty. Look, he clipped him. It's a penalty. I can't believe John Brooks has not given a penalty. It's okay. So now we get Nkunku as a 10, which is what everybody cries about all the time, and it's not going to be better. I bet you he will be worse than Felix. Chelsea will create less this half than they did last half. I'm calling it now. I am calling it now that Chelsea create less this half with Nkunku as a 10 than they did last half with Felix as a 10. Felix, for his many flaws, is very good receiving between the lines. Yeah, oh, here we go. Let's just smash crosses off of people. Oh my god, I'm so salty now. Why did I do this? I took a vacation day to stay home today. I could be at work right now, not thinking about this. Just bliss. Don't know anything about anything. I could be like looking at spreadsheets and science. It'd be so much more enjoyable. Talking with my coworkers about the holidays, what they did with their families. I could be doing any of that right now. Sigh. Yeah, let's try a nutmeg against 3 players with nobody behind you. Alas. All right, let's be more positive. How would I fix it from here? How about that? How would I fix it from here? Here's how I would fix it. I'd take Disasi off. I'd put Caicedo here. I'd drop Fernandez deeper, and I would have left Felix on. And I would have done Jackson here. And I would have had all 3 of the 10s, and I would have had Caicedo right center back, just like as your transition defender. Like the way he is now, like he is splitting the center backs to defend transitions. And I would have had Enzo deeper as the lock picker. Or you can do it like this. So he's always in those spots. That's the change that I think I would have made. This is now not an option because it's Jackson is on and Felix is off. I think you go Sancho for Disasi to get to the same place. Oy. Yeah, I think Sancho for Disasi is like my next move. And then you have like the 2 proper no turnover stretchy wingers. It's just not a good delivery. It's not a good cross. That's how I would change it from here. Is I would go Disasi off, I'd drop Enzo deeper. So you have him to like break lines. Bro, the lap is rustling. I've been away since 1-0. How's it going? Bad routes. Chelsea were honestly totally fine. And then Disasi gives away like a brain dead transition. Like he's here and he just passes it to the striker. And they transition and Omari Hutchinson like seeing eye shot through traffic, bottom corner. Yeah, not great. And second half we've like not created very much compared to the first half. We started okay, but it's been somewhat. And then we can see the second, and now like it feels a little bit like the air has gone out. Well, let's see. I mean, like it's not. It's actually not insane to blame both goals on Disasi, which is pretty fun. Like the penalty is him too, so that's fun. And now, like, Palmer is having to drop deep to get the ball all the time because it's super dense. Alas. It's funny, Nani not that great dribbling people when they're not cones. Who's signing to Sassy in January? Nobody. Nobody's. He's like, he's fine. Disassy's a fine player. He's a center back, not a right back, and he's a pretty good center back. But like, you're just not getting. You're certainly not getting what you paid for him back, and he makes like decent money. Like, you're not. I don't know why he took so long to give that call, but it was very weird. And Kunku off for Sandra. See, like, what are we doing? Sigh. These are so boring. Felix got subbed for Jackson after they scored, but was, in my opinion, mostly fine, but got hammered by everybody else. Good goalkeeping. Very good goalkeeping. It's a great claim. I like deck chairs on Titanic subs. I like kind of get it though. Like, I suggested like one structural change, but like I don't think it would change that much, other than it would give you one more number to arrive. It would give you another number to arrive in the box and another number to receive between lines. But I don't feel like super strongly like it's this like it is, in my opinion, of a totally valid that's a yellow. It is, in my opinion, a totally valid thing to be like, well, we're creating enough. Like, I don't know. I don't feel that strongly. Caicedo yellow after a pretty brutal Caicedo giveaway. He's been not great today, which is, again, not surprising because he's played 3 games in a row and he played 90 every single game. Sigh. This is a very annoying. These things happen though. Like, this is whatever. Arsenal drew Fulham without Fulham taking a shot. You know how crazy that is? Again, I don't know where Disassi is ever. He has Malagusto treatment. This guy's just never in the picture. Now we have 3 subs from 1 stoppage. Yeah, all 3 subs aren't getting used. Are you kidding me? This is it. We're not getting any more subs. Look at the bench, bro. What other sub are we getting here? Maybe Reece James. Here we go. He's going to rinse Tosin. No, wait. This is it. Maybe Vega. I don't think this is a shit show. I really don't. I don't think it's a good performance, but I don't think this is that bad. Like, I really don't think this is that bad. what will be very telling for me now is like you have 25-ish minutes to really generate a lot. Like this is the rest of the game. It's gonna be super tilted. You're gonna have huge game state effects here against a very compact, organized team. Like what? Why are you playing short corners? Why are you playing short corners you've like not planned for? If the lap penalty is overturned, the game state is so different. For sure. It doesn't the second one probably happens like it's a similar, like that moment could happen anyways. Like I don't think that's game statey. But yeah, the lap penalty is like a bit silly. Pass the ball to Sancho. How tired are we looking? Not that tired. I think like Caicedo's the only one I think who looks really leggy. You know who'd be really nice for Chelsea right now? Ben Chilwell. Let's see the replay here. No, you can't. That would be very harsh in my opinion. I mean, I'll take it if they give it, but that would be very harsh. Based on Fault Mob, they have not given it. But yeah, that'd be very harsh. Let's see. Let's see if you can really go from here. Certainly a game. I still can't believe they gave that penalty. If it doesn't get given, there's no way they overturn it. Oh, here Comstar one's asking for like historical player reviews. That's where we're at in this game. That's where we're at in this game. Omari's had a pretty good game as a 10. I don't really rate him like that, but he's had a pretty good game. Yeah. Do I think David Beckham was overrated? No, I think he was underrated. I think he's become so associated with the like non-soccer parts of his life that like people forget he was very good as a player. In today's life, he'd be like very different. But yeah. Villa are beating Brighton. Newcastle still beating United. Caicedo red feels so possible. Yeah, I probably agree. Neto's coming, and that's Chelsea's last sub. So, mate, get everybody on the near post if you're going to do that. If you're going to shoot it, just get them there. Kajus was USA eligible. He chose to represent Sweden, I think. I think he was American born or something. Would anyone be surprised if he ended up loaning Olmo? Apparently, Olmo makes 21 million euros. So yes, I'd be surprised. Cox said Beckham would have been a Trent style player in the modern Prem. It's possible, like a right back. Cucurella, what are we doing? What are we doing? Just the total, like the total inability. That's a good save. Delap is very good. The total inability for this team to like sustain pressure because Tosin is getting ragdolled by Delap is unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're not bad. We're not bad. We're not playing very well, but we're not bad. Not bad. No, this is very brutal dropped points from this Christmas schedule. Very brutal drop points from this schedule. By the way, second half, Chelsea still created nothing. I told you. Second half will be way worse than the first half with no Felix. That's on Nikki Ahmad, if you remember him. I have no idea who that is. I do not remember Nikki Ahmad. I didn't know Chelsea had a Sri Lankan play for them. That's cool. This is certainly a game that has happened. It's offside. And he missed anyways. Cheers. Was it? It looked off to me. Yeah. Yeah, it was not close. Yeah, it was not close. We'll see. Also, like when you have that much space, shape up to hit it and then round the keeper. Open up and then chop to your left to round him. Empty goal. That's the move there. Gusto Neto for Nani Disasi. I was sure. We'll do it, whatever. The annoying thing is, like, if you score, you could score 3. One before 80, one before 90, one in injury time. Like, you could totally do it. They won't, but they could. I had a meeting this morning, and the person I had a meeting with just said, and we were supposed to meet at 11:30, and I said no because Chelsea were playing. They just messaged me saying maybe scheduling our meeting during the Chelsea game would have been a good thing. They're right. They're right. Sigh. What have we learned about Maresca from the last 3 games? That's a good question. That's a good question. The subs are more of a red flag than I expected. That's number 1. Yeah, that's definitely number one. Number two is, I think that's it. I think that's all the learnings. I think that's all the learnings are that the subs are. Oh, that's okay. Oh, that's brutal. It's a horror challenge. This John Brooks guy's having a nightmare. No, we're not Maresca out. Don't be silly. He's been fine. But like, this is what I've been saying for the whole season. Is like, people were getting a little too high. Like, people were too low at the beginning of the year, then too high during the winning streak, and now they're going to be too low again. I had this team at 75 points. After today, oh, that's kind of nasty. Uh, People were too low, then too high, and now they're going to be too low again. Like, Chelsea played a bunch of games they were pretty fortunate to win. Um, like, it's Chelsea are a good but not great team. They're on pace. I think after today, they'll be on pace for 74 or 73 points. I had them at 75 for the season, was my number before the season. I suspect that will oscillate up and down quite a bit. Like, that's fine. I don't like the subs at all. Like, this, I think, is like a legitimate thing I dislike, but okay. Oof, that's annoying. Yeah, like I think Chelsea are fine. They're good, not great. Fun. And yeah, I think it is what it is. Like, I don't. Again, over the course of a season, there's going to be games that go well. There's going to be games that go poorly. Sometimes you'll play better than others. Chelsea across these three games are perhaps a little bit unfortunate to come away with 1 point. When should we start worrying about losing Palmer? Never. Because like, he makes a bomb and is on a 79-year contract. I think this is big. People are big overreacting. Our man has a plan of how he wants to play, and if it's not working, we just keep running into the wall. I don't agree with that. I think Maresca has actually been quite flexible with making changes and adjustments. Again, I don't think the adjustments today have been amazing, but I largely think that's fine. There's a weird unwillingness to move beyond the couple things he has planned going into the match. He's just happy enough to change around the midfield, but when it comes to personnel, he's really struggling. Yeah, I mean, I think there are changes he could make beyond this. Like, we could see more in Nkunku 10 minutes, but like, I don't think Nkunku's been like. I thought Nkunku was like pretty bad today. I couldn't tell you the last time I thought Nkunku played well. What subs would I have done? The change that I would have liked to see when Jackson came for Felix is I would have liked to see Jackson come for Disasi. You play Caicedo as like the right back, right center back to defend transitions, and Enzo becomes your 6 deeper, and then you play Felix and Nkunku Palmer all together with Jackson as the 9. And that's how you load the 6. And then as you're chasing the game, you can go Sancho for Cucurella, and it's a legit back 3 or whatever you want to do. That's the set of changes I would have made when I was chasing it. But what are you going to do? Like, I don't think now it's gone. Are we the team that's going to be stuck in the top 4 race? I think we'll make top 4 pretty comfortably. ultimately. But yeah, like I have said from the beginning, the Chelsea are not particularly close to a title race, but will also be like fairly safe from worrying about top four. By the way, I said before the game Chelsea will win 3-0 today. So maybe I don't know anything. That was my pregame prediction, is that we would win 3-0 today. We need to stop the rot. I don't know. Like, I think it's similar to last year where, like, this team is way better winning than losing. Can we be close to a title race? Not as constructed, no. Can Maresca stop with the Disassi at right back situation? Well, he's done it twice all year. In a parallel universe, we win the league, just saying. Very, 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 very few of the many universes theories do we win the league. I don't think we're close to that. It'll be fine. Like I'm not worried longer term. I think we'll beat Palace. Like I go into most games expecting Chelsea to win still, as bad as this has been. I hate every game we see him play. Again, it's happened twice. It's fine. I would have rather started Josh. You're probably better off if you start Josh today. I'm pretty confident he wouldn't pass the ball to the other team's striker. Surely Palmer gets rested for Palace. I would say the opposite. There's a 0% chance Palmer rests for Palace. We will get Gusto right back, or James if James is fit, but clearly he's not. We'll get Gusto right back. We'll get this back four that's on the pitch right now. We'll get this midfield. We'll get exactly the team that's on the field right now. That's how we'll play against Palace. Looking at it. Yeah, like the second half has been really bad. Aren't I worried that we're not on the path to title contenders? I don't think we're on the path. I don't think this team is that. I think this team is just good. But what do you want me to worry about? Like, the wingers aren't good enough. There's not enough midfield depth. Maybe Andre fixes that. The center back core is not good enough. I don't think this team is that close to being title contenders. You need a lot of player improvement to get there. Like, Estevao has to be amazing. And Madueke has to get better. And Sancho has to get better. And Jackson has to get better. And Nkunku has to play better. And Andre has to be very good. And Enzo Fernandez has to play better. And Fofana can't get injured. And James has to play the whole season. And you have to get a good goalkeeping season. All of those things have to happen. Like, I don't think Chelsea are particularly close to being title contenders. And that's okay. Like, that's fine. Like, you find the places to make improvements. You get the players you need to get. Cole Will's down, which is great. There we go. Does this bad stretch mean they do stupid things with money in January? Maybe. It's certainly more likely now than it was 3 weeks ago. This feels like 13-14. I don't know. I don't get that vibe. I think that team was comparatively better than this team. Certainly a lot more experienced. And like that team, like you had Courtois coming into it. And you had Courtois coming into it. And you had like legit good experienced, a lot of good experienced players in that team. Like that team was a Diego Costa away and a Cesc away from being awesome. And like they got Matic in January, who was huge. Like I don't know. I don't think it's that similar. Yeah, made a Champions League semifinal, won Carabao Cup, and almost won the league. Yeah, that's the thing that people always forget is like they were close. Did Cole just get sent off? No, he got. I think going with Josh as a starter at right back, maybe. I don't know. This is more like 18-19. Oh, he got caught by a boot. That's nasty. That sucks. Chelsea are for sure taking an injury time red card here. That's definitely happening. Here we go. 3-0. Let's make it happen, folks. When was the last time Chelsea took a shot, by the way? Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Sorry. I mean, since Felix has gone off, Chelsea have legitimately created nothing. Like, actually nothing. Since Joe Felix went off, created nothing. So, here we are. Here we are. Palmer looks pretty gassed. There's no subs left. Sigh, 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 sigh. Oh, like, look. Blocked. Blocked. With Felix on the field. Blocked. With Felix on the field. With Felix on the field. I don't know. Yeah, Villa drawing is fine. Newcastle are getting awfully tight, though, with a win today. Somebody asked me earlier if I thought Emery was right for persisting with the back three. I think the back three is less the issue and more that, like, they cannot build anything. Like, any team presses them and there's nothing going on. Like, they cannot get forward. Like, and this was my big Emery thing, was like, and why Emery looked okay against City in a City game where, like, he's just defending. Like, they gave up the ball and defended. Is, like, I think Emery has excellent defensive ideas. I think Emery has excellent defensive ideas. I think his in possession ideas were pretty questionable, and I think I was pretty curious to see. I think people need to remember how inexperienced these players are. So par for the course. I don't think this is par for the course. I think this is frustrating. Yeah, stoppage time Nico yellow. That'd hit. Yeah, give me that one. And, like, can Caicedo red, Nico yellow in stoppage time. Like, full meltdown game. This has been and, like, yeah, Neto and Gusto come on and it's so much worse. Oh, great. Very good giveaway, Mr. Enzo Fernandez. No, sorry, Bournemouth was way worse than this. Sorry, Bournemouth was way worse than this. Feels similar though. It's okay. We're gonna beat Villa and Bournemouth and City and Palace, and it'll be great. Cheers. Cheers. Another one. No, I do think dumb results and bad performances happen, and I don't think today has been awful. There are plenty of times today. There are plenty of worlds today where you win this one 2-1 or something. Like, there are plenty of worlds where that happens. I don't think it's the most, like, I don't think Chelsea were great, but there's plenty of worlds where that happens. Like, people are definitely going to overreact. To me, like the clearest takeaways are like Tosin got ragdolled by Delap all game. That legitimately happened. Is this Ali Al Hamadi coming on? Or am I confusing him with I'm confusing him. I still don't think this is a penalty. I really don't, but whatever. Would have been cool if Jorgensen saved it too. I mean, Tosin actually does like an okay job with him. Yeah, like the penalty changes the game. It changes the game, but it also doesn't. Like, yes, they're more content to drop deeper and defend, but like, I don't know. Gays for Kamala. That's crazy. I was watching Hassan on the election night, and that was very depressing. But the chat was moving too fast, so you couldn't see anything. Yellow Frenzo somehow. Give me a Gusto second yellow, so I don't have to watch him next week. Are we gonna get an Enzo second yellow? Because that would be pretty funny. Well, what are you gonna do? These things happen from time to time. It happens. It happens. How many people we got in here? Not that many. It's okay. Life goes on, huh? Wow, I really dislike Gusto. He's not good. He's actually not a good soccer player. I don't know what he does well. He runs and like is like a reasonably technically gifted guy. But he's like the most replacement level fullback ever. Yeah, Ipswich staying up would be fun. Another full 90 friend zone, Caicedo. No, like this is the thing. Chelsea have bought themselves actually quite a bit of leeway to go really heavy on minutes in this stretch because they have not gone heavy on minutes on anybody being able to rotate for Conference League. Like being able to only play once a week has given them a lot of leeway on rotating otherwise. So I don't know. Gusto is better than Zappacosta. For sure better than Zappacosta. Zappacosta was like could do nothing. Except score against Azerbaijani teams. Yeah. All right. Well, it happens. These things happen. I'm not super worried. Alas. Alas, alas, alas. These things happen. These things happen. Well, we'll stay for a bit. We'll hang on for a bit. Why not? Let me I'm gonna take the link. I'm gonna tweet it. And I'm gonna blue sky it. You're a fan of McKenna. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind McKenna. I don't mind McKenna. I think he's a good, probably. I don't. Life goes on. Life goes on, my friends. Yeah, it's not great. Does this mean no more watch alongs? I don't know. I don't even know when the next one I could watch along is. What's our fixture list? Because we play a bunch of weekdays. It's a Sunday. Saturday. Maybe we'll do one for Palace. Maybe we'll do one for Palace. I gotta find a better way though, because I want to watch it on Peacock, and I don't want to have to do this dodgy stream stuff. So I'd rather like find a way to like I might have to like hook my monitor up to my phone or I don't know. I gotta find a better way instead of hooking it up to my oh, actually I have an idea. I know what I can do. The whatever. Would I have kept Hutchinson over Nani? I don't think Hutchinson's big. I think he's fine. I thought the fee was low, which was mostly my objection to selling Hutchinson. That I thought the fee was really low. In terms of would I have bought Hutchinson or bought Neto, though, I would have kept Hutchinson over spending 60 million for Neto. This is the thing. Look, and somebody, what did Chelsea Youth tweet? What did Chelsea Youth? Let's see. I didn't see it. It's nothing if nothing else, it's quite amusing that once again a heavy push about how good they are. Ahead of a game that they could have gone top for the first time, blew up in a cloud of hubris, having also done it before the League Cup final. Let your success speak for it. It's true. The Blue Sky post. Oh, yeah, good. I agree. Listen, I think... No, my name is Kieran. I just use Kier to separate my online persona from my work persona. My name is Kieran. I think... Sigh. What do I think? I don't think Chelsea are rubbish. I think Chelsea are fine. I will say the same thing that I have been saying for a very long time. That Chelsea are just good. They're just good. They are in an awkward in-between zone of like, they are not so good that they cannot get footballed from time to time. Right? They are not so good that they cannot get footballed from time to time. And they are not so bad that they don't have lots of chances to win and whatever. Like if we go update the sexy spreadsheet, go update it right now. I'm going to have to add the penalty because for some reason the penalty's not in there. Actually, I don't have penalties. I don't have to. That up right? 0.8, 0.3. Like, and even that's bullshit. Like, what's McCloskey saying? And what's Mark Stats? See what Understat has, just to get the whole trifecta. Understat. They're not better than good because they played Axel Disasi. I mean, I think there were other problems than Disasi today. He was bad, but I don't think... He did lose him the game, but there were other problems. Okay, well, it's not there yet. No, it's not -1. It's -3 because I had it wrong. Because we won Burnley away. But we drew Burnley home. So let's see. What do we got in here? Villa is a draw. Spurs actually gained points this weekend because they lost to Wolves last year. Chelsea lose, which is pretty bad. Newcastle win, which is good for them. And United lose. Bad for them. I don't know. Maybe they'll come back. The game's not over. Is it not over? It's over. So that's those. 3-1-6 set up away against Ipswich was pretty tough to watch. Again, I don't really think the problems were super tactical. Like, it's fine. It's fine. Fine. All right, let's update the spreadsheet. Okay. No penalty. 2 to 0.7, so the 1.3. That's better than the same game last year. It's a -2. A little unfortunate. X sheet 2.7. I think we took 20 shots. 20 shots to 9. Like, guys, what are we doing here? 36 to 50. I don't know. It is what it is. Sometimes it happens. I don't think this is quite a ball don't go in game, though. I will say I don't think this is quite a ball don't go in game. He was not quite at that level. I was personally pretty against the Felix signing this summer, but I thought we were better with him on today. Yeah, I agree. I literally put a massive podcast out talking about how stupid that whole thing was. I did a whole thing talking about how dumb that transfer was. But, like, it was dumb for... The reasons it was dumb are, like, less to do with Felix than, like, everything around Felix. Like, Felix is a fine, useful player who does some good things. I think he's very good between lines. I think he takes lots of shots. Like, if I look... Let's see, where does he pop up today? Again, he's about half an expected goal or an assist in 60 minutes. And Nkunku did nothing. His one shot is a rebound off the post. Like, he didn't do anything. Like, I thought Felix was largely useful today. This was way better. This was way better than Fulham. Way better than Fulham. Games like this just happen for your typical top 4 team, which is usually why they're a top 4 contender and not a title challenger. It's true. Again, like, this is what I said. Like, Chelsea are not good enough that they are out of range of the footballing, that, like, these games happen. It's okay. I don't think there is like a huge takeaway from this game. You know what I mean? This is interesting to me, that this has their XG much lower. My guess is it's a lot of the blocked stuff doesn't pop up very well. And this is all fake because they defended so deep. 11 to 8. 0.2. .4 non-penalty. Interesting. It's calling the Nkunku one not a set piece, but that's okay. Yeah, I mean, sure. 66% build-up completion. Bad. 5 high turnovers generated. Bad. Expected threat. Pretty big. A lot of that's field tilt. Okay. I don't know, man. Like, I don't think this was a good performance. I don't think it was quite... Ball doesn't go in. I don't think it was there either. But, like, I do think this is not that bad. I think people are going to very much overreact to today. Felix is a useful player that you have to work around. I don't think you have to work around him. I think you can just throw him out there sometimes. I don't think he should start, but I think he's useful in a bunch of games. I think against teams like this, where, like, this is what you are playing against. This is how Ipswich defended the whole game. Was 5-4-1, one of the wingers tracked to be a wingback. It is useful to have someone who is less good defensively, but who will play in the pockets really well. This was way better than the 10 minutes where Nkunku was here, because Nkunku just comes out here. And it was way better than the 10 minutes with Cucurella out here because Cucurella's not good in the pocket. Like, I think it's all fine. I think it's fine. There's an account, I think, Dimitri, that suggested Felix might be useful as a 9 because he takes good shots. I wonder if Felix and Nkunku could have done better in each other's positions. Yeah, I assumed at the beginning of the season that Felix was going to be the backup striker and Nkunku was going to be a 10. That's what I thought when we bought him. And it has not been that. It's been the opposite, which has been surprising to me. I would not be opposed to seeing it the other way. Newcastle 3 points behind now and coming into form. Maybe. We'll see. I think one of the things that got flagged up to me is that Chelsea have played most of the top half at home. And of the 9 teams who play in the top half, I think we play 7 of them away in the second half of the season. So, like, if you want to be real nervous, like, that's probably the one. But I think there's value there. Like, yeah, Qatar, I'm with you. You can't play Felix against City, but these are games he's useful in. Yeah, like you look at Leicester, Southampton. Like, I think he's valuable in those games for you. This game is closer to a 0-0. Yeah, like a 1-1 or something like that. I think is reasonable. And it's the same with Fulham. Like, the Fulham game is probably a draw. Again, there are many worlds where Chelsea take 1 point from this, and there are many worlds where they take 5 from these 3 games, and some 6 and some 7. Like, it is what it is. Disassy's WhatsApp got leaked. French Twitter is something else. I don't know what that means. I don't think I want to know what that means. Palmer. Somebody asked what this looks like if they didn't hit on Palmer, and then somebody asked Wisdom and honest thoughts on Palmer. Is Maresca using him to the best of his ability? I think Maresca is very much enabling Palmer to do his thing. That, I think, is very real. Totally. I don't think there's like another way, quote unquote, way to use Palmer that's better. Like, he's mostly free from defensive responsibility. He has enough structure around him that he has options. Like, I thought Palmer had like a just okay game today, and he's still putting up like 0.5, 0.6 expected. Like, this is the thing. Even when Palmer plays badly, like if I go look at Cole Palmer, even when Palmer plays badly, and we're like, oh man, he didn't. Palmer didn't really perform today. Like, it's just gargantuan. Like, even when he plays bad, he's half an expected goal. It's just when he's good, he puts up such insane numbers that you're like, oh, he played bad today. When it's like, no, he didn't play bad. He played fine. Like, if you look at, like, I just want, like, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.6 non-penalty, 1.9, 0.6, 1, 0.2 against the Arsenal, 0.8, 0.3 against Newcastle, 0.5, 1.3, 3, 0.5. Like, Bournemouth was the worst game, which I still think is Chelsea's worst performance of the season, is the Bournemouth game. Like, just even when he's bad, like, this is what he does. So I'm not worried about Palmer. Now, the question is, like, where are Chelsea without Palmer? The answer to that is significantly worse. Palmer is awesome. He is by far the team's best player. And there are a lot of really scary worlds with no Cole Palmer. Like, Chelsea are not a top 4 team without Cole Palmer. No, certainly not. And I don't think that's. I think it's tough. It's tough to hack. So, Chelsea are going to be time for top 4, enough points on the board, and the team is obviously good enough that shit is just annoying. Do I still think this? Yes, still think this. I do still think this. I don't know. Yeah, the reason I asked the question is without Palmer, the sporting director spent like $800 million for a bang average side. Yeah, I agree. I think the recruitment has sucked. I've said this, like, many times that I remain reasonably optimistic about the on-field product while looking at everything off the field and being like, what the fuck is going on? The off-field product is garbage. In general, the off-field, like, not good. I don't know why it's the recruitment in general has been very poor. Like I don't know what else to say. Recruitment in general has been very poor, very ineffective. And that's why I'm always like a little hesitant to be like, I don't know. As a coach, when you say that age doesn't matter, performances do, how could you have Disasi higher than Josh in the pecking order? I think Disasi's been largely fine this season. Like, today was a disaster from him, but I think and Bournemouth was very poor, but I think in general, Disasi has been mostly fine. He had like one pretty terrible game in the Conference League, but like lots of players have bad games. Josh, I would play ahead of him. I've said this before. Like, it's fine. Can we expect a fall off similar to Leicester last year under Maresca? No, because they didn't fall off. I'm going to just say this until I'm blue in the face. And everybody who's been here lots knows that I think this. Here is... I want the season. Sure. Here is all of last season's rolling expected goal difference. So 5-game rolling XG difference for Leicester under Maresca. SKR, you're going to trigger Kier. No, we can talk about low block stuff. I think there's been enough to talk about this week that we can have that real conversation. This is Leicester last year. Where did they fall off? Here? Like this little 5-game stretch? Here? This 5-game stretch? The first 5 games? Where did they fall off? Yes, they lost a few games. This happens. When you flip 46 league match coins, sometimes you do not win. It happens. Leicester were consistently excellent the whole year. So no, I do not expect a fall off similar to Leicester last year under Maresca. Because there wasn't a fall off like last year under Maresca. They didn't have a fall off. They lost a few games. It totally happens. It is what it is. No, so, like... Whatever. I don't know. We're not even going there. This is actually going to piss me off. The low block thing. So, like, I think there's legitimate conversations to have. I don't think, though, how worried am I? How concerned am I? Like, the answer is kind of not. So, like, okay. If you look today... Let me go to the end of the game. So after Felix goes off, 0.09, 0.11, 0.15, 0.17, 0.28, 0.35, 0.39. So Chelsea put 0.4 in the 35 minutes plus added, so 40 minutes that João Felix doesn't play. And in the 50, he played 50 in the first half plus 10. In the 60 minutes he did, they put up 1.3 or 1.4. 0.4 of 2. So they put up 1.6 in 10 minutes more. I don't know. That's a pretty big difference. So, like, I look at it and say, okay, Chelsea had no problem with the low block in the first half. The second half, the issues are there. So I think that the real question, if we want to talk about low blocks and the issues Chelsea are having, and great, I don't have to update the road to the Champions League thing. Isn't that fun? I can just leave it as it is. So I think if you want to talk about the issues that Chelsea are having in low blocks, there's like a few things. The biggest problem to me is that you have like 3 ways to attack low blocks. The first is you get into wingers who into isolated 1v1s, and they break guys down. This is how, if you go look at, like if we pull up match logs, Forest, and we pull up Palace, where like these were the first two examples people wanted to talk about, is like, oh, these are how these teams defend. Like Forest defended pretty deep, Palace defended pretty deep in a back five, and what Chelsea did was they absolutely destroyed their fullbacks with 1v1s. And it was like super effective getting at the fullbacks 1v1. Like I bet you, if I look at possessions, 9 progressive carries, 8 progressive carries, 4 into the penalty area, 4 into the penalty area, right? 8 take-ons between them, high success rate. That was Chelsea's route to success there. And if we go look at the same thing, you see Neto 4 progressive carries, Madueke 5 progressive carries, not so many into the penalty area, but again, a reasonably high take-on success rate. More so against Forest than against Palace. Palace was a little bit different because of the back three. But that's one option, right? Is you ISO the 1v1s on the fullbacks and you get at them. What we have seen with Everton and with Fulham and with Ipswich is they have been super deliberate about making sure when you end up here that it's 1v2. It's always 1v2. It's not 1v1. It's always 1v2. So it's very difficult to consistently generate box entries, high quality box entries. Like we saw, how many times did Madueke even get to here to cross? Like 1 or 2 times. It's very difficult to consistently generate high quality box entries when they're able to defend 1v2. So that's option 1. Doesn't work if you play slow. You have to be much more deliberate about like finding them on the switch. And what we've seen a lot is like when Chelsea put these players in the 10 and you end up like this, is what we see a lot is these players don't have good like pocket discipline. So instead of sitting in that pocket, they come out here. And so now when they receive on the switch because they're free, they are looking to create for themselves, and then this player just shifts over and kills it. And now you don't have time to get there. But like if you have this player here who pins this player inside, when you swing, you can get out to the winger and you can get all the 1v1s you want much more quickly. That's number 1. And that's why like with Felix, it looked way better than it did with Nkunku and Cucurella, because Cucurella is not dangerous there and he doesn't stay in the pocket. So like that's legitimately a problem. That's number 1. The second is you can flood bodies into the box. You can get extra bodies into the box, and you can have a really aggressive counter press to kill the game. So like we're going to cross a lot and we're going to pick up every knockdown, and you're going to get 0 transitions at all. You're going to get 0, 0, 0 transitions at all. Because we're going to have our whole team like this, so that when Madueke crosses and when Sancho or Felix or whoever crosses, we always have 4 guys in the box. And if we don't win it, we're going to counter-press it and we're going to win it back right away. And eventually we're going to grind you down. Someone's going to be out of position. We'll collect the loose ball. Someone's going to get on the end of a cross. This is the Brentford game. Right? You eventually end up in a situation where he gets drawn to Enzo Fernandez and where Cucurella arrives free. This is the Brentford game where we score. That's another solution. We didn't see that today. Why we didn't see that? I don't know. I think a big part of why we haven't seen that is like Tosin clearly cannot defend transitions by himself. In the same way Fofana had. Like Elliot Sherman brings up, the thing about us bottling the relatively crisp schedule is it also coincides with Fofana going down. That's been a huge problem for Chelsea's ability to defend transitions. I don't even think Fofana is amazing, but he is so fast compared to Tosin or Colwill or Disasi that he opens up many avenues for you strategically that no longer exist. Right? Like it's very, very difficult for you to defend as high, as aggressively without him as your safety release valve the other way. It's very difficult. That's number 2. And then the third is you can try to play super, super, super tight tiki-taka, like compact, break the lines with like very, very tight technical play. And like Cucurella cannot do that. It's very hard to do with tired players. You need really good entry passes. So like a thing that I'd like to see more is like when you are playing a deeper block like that you are choosing to play through, can you get Enzo Fernandez as the guy pulling the strings to get you to move through the zones? And can you get another 10 here for Cucurella? Like, that's why I was quite disappointed to see Felix go off, because I thought he was very good in that pocket again. So those, to me, are like the three things. If we look at the games that just happened, against Everton, the problem was they dropped like this. It wasn't 5-4-1, it was 4-5-1, but it's the same solution where they were able to always go. I messed up one of the fullbacks here. They were able to always go 2v2 or 2v1 or 1v2, sorry, on the winger. So it was very difficult to generate 1v1s. And because the team was gassed, you couldn't sling balls in to collect seconds, also because Everton are much larger than you. So it's like a bad strategic choice because you're probably not going to win the first ones. I guess another thing to talk about breaking down low blocks is like the old Lampard choice where like you can be much more direct and then counter press. But like this team has not been a very good counter pressing team this year. It's come and gone, but certainly not the third Christmas Day. That's going to be the third holiday match. It's going to be quite difficult. And so that's where we get to. But this is the problem, right? Because Maresca's thing is trying to slow everyone down. Maresca's thing is about like pace is more about like vertical pace. Like it's more about how quickly we move back to front. But like I'm talking about side to side pace, right? Like I'm not talking about winger get the ball and go. Like that's fine. The problem that I have more is like this player gets the ball here on the recycle, and instead of like aggressively hitting Enzo or whatever, or Colwell like very quickly. So like this ball comes and you just fling it. So now we can attack with pace on the other side. It's like a lot of like, oh, do I want to re-enter the 1v1? Or like, can I probe somebody in here? Like, okay, that's fine. But like, I'd much rather you find the opposite pocket way quicker. Way, way, way quicker. In January, if I could fix one thing with strikers, would be get a backup striker that wins the ball in the air. A Drew type or probably younger due to sporting director proclivity. Sure, yeah, that's the profile that's missing. Would Leao be someone you're interested in if Milan are really trying to get him out? No, he doesn't defend. He's very good, but he doesn't defend, and he wants $1 trillion. Chase, what are you doing here? Bad Soccer Says model suggests the most important tactical change Chelsea needs to make are going full route one, only long balls matter. Well, I think Chelsea should fire Enzo Maresca for Josh Wolf. He's available, I hear. Chase runs a funny account that just posts nonsensical stats things, but is very funny. Yeah, I don't know, guys. It happens. These things happen from time to time. And it is what it is. Do we have a post-match press conference? That's what I want to know. That's what I also like. I would very much prefer to have. I'm clipping that. It'll haunt you forever. I would much rather have Trev Chalobah than Axel Disasi, but I do think people are going to be very very angry for no reason. Well, not no reason. Losing today sucks, but I think people are going to be a little bit off. How much of a bottleneck are our current wingers against low blocks? What are your thoughts on Delap after this game? Delap was good. Delap strikes me as very like Southampton Broya though. But I thought he did like a pretty good job generating shots and holding it up and linking play. how much of a bottleneck are our current wingers? I don't think the wingers are the problem so much as like the structure to get them the ball. You know what I mean? Like I think they're like Sancho and Neto. I think is a real problem. That guy stinks. I hated that transfer. Like honestly, of all the sporting director transfers so far, Neto like might be number one. It might be number one. La, 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 la. Watching Rude's Leicester yesterday and Ipswich today makes me shocked how far apart these teams are. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know. Do I think Nkunku has anything substantial considering the out of possession trade off and how static he makes us? I don't think he makes. I don't. I'm confused by Nkunku because in my head, as like a 10, I see it. And as a 9, I see it. Like I like Nkunku. I think he's a good player. It is weird to me that they like can't make that work better. I think Nkunku, like, I don't know. I don't really know what's going on there. He's a good player. I don't really understand why it's not working. Because I also don't think he's that bad defensively. Like he's been a fine defender. He played as a wingback for Tuchel. Like he's a fine defender in my opinion. I don't know. Question on the center backs. We have a lot of good, not great center backs. What is one center back you would get to partner Colwell long term? Like, I mean, it's just Fofana is the guy long term. Maybe Josh. I don't know. We talked about a few center back names a few weeks ago. How much is the speed of side to side switches based on the coach preference and how much on the squad building? I don't know if it's either so much as individual tendencies. But I think Chelsea need to speed up their movement of the ball. And some of it's like fatigue because the team looks tired. Less so today. Today wasn't so bad. Today wasn't so bad from an energy perspective. But Fulham and Everton were pretty bad. I don't understand why Neto got a pass for so long. Neto can't be the number one stake when Felix there. Felix was... Honestly, this is going to sound so aggressive. Felix was probably Chelsea's best player today, which is a wild thing to say out loud. But Felix was probably Chelsea's best player today, I think. Like Neto doesn't take. I said this before. Neto doesn't take shots. He doesn't create shots. He's just okay defensively. And he's always injured. He has not been always injured at Chelsea, which is fun. But like I don't know. Look at what are we talking about here? He has played 1,000 minutes, and he's not even at a third. Like he doesn't even have 1 xG. He doesn't even have 1 xG. What are we doing here? Do you know how crazy that is? He's played 1090s, not 1 xG. What are you doing here? That's crazy. And like it's only 10 games. Like there's plenty of 10 game samples where someone who's better than that is going to be is only going to put up 3 goals and assists. But like no, look at his whole career. Look at his whole career. This is what he's been his whole career. He's like somewhere between a third and a half an expected goals guy. And it never looks how you think it looks. It always skews towards the assists. Like the guy is he's not the one for me. I don't like Neto. I don't think he offers you that much. I think Madueke is much better than him. And like to be fair to Pedro Neto, like this is pretty good. Like 0.25 XA is not bad. But like you can't put this up with nothing else. Like, you can't put this up with like getting into the box a bunch without getting into the box a bunch, or getting a few shots, and a few shots that don't suck. Like, his shot quality is terrible. Terrible. Oh, OOP, you meant out of position, not out of possession. I thought you meant out of possession, not out of position. So tell me, what is in Kunku's position? I'm curious then. What is in Kunku's position? Because he's played as many striker minutes as he has 10 minutes in his career. He played some as an 8 in France. He's played as a winger. He's played as like a double 10 and a 3-4-3. Like, the guy has done a lot of things. What is his position? I would like to play him as one of the 10s. You defensively cannot play Palmer and him as 10s. It doesn't work. You can't do it. So Palmer has to go wide, or Nkunku has to go wide. I thought at the beginning of the season that like my first choice was this. My first choice was you'd have Chelsea look like this. Pretend Felix is Jack, where he's the winger, and the winger comes inside, and Palmer is the 10. This is what I thought would be Chelsea's best setup. And it hasn't been that, ever. But it's not. I like him as a left 8 or right 8. I think he adds more value when he gets on the ball more. I don't know. Like, you say that, and like, he did do a solid amount of creative passing in Germany. But like, I don't know. He just hasn't really. I find when he like drops outside the block this year, like, the passing stuff is just okay. Like, this is an okay. Like, this is pretty good. But then you start looking more. I don't know. Nkunku is best as left 8. Yeah, but he hasn't played left 8 in like 10 years. Like, he hasn't played as a left 8 since he left PSG. Like, he never played as an 8 for Leipzig, ever. Which was the best he's ever played. He was better at Leipzig than anywhere else. Like, I think at some point we just have to accept, like, he is what he is, which is, like, mostly a depth runner and box crasher who does a solid amount of creative passing for an attacking line player. And to me, the most obvious way to fit that player into this team is as a winger. A winger who comes inside, or as a 10, and Palmer as a winger who comes inside. Like, those are your options to me. Like, you can't play them both as 8s unless you're going to change drastically how you defend, or you're going to play a 3-4-3 or something. Like, and he's not better than Palmer. So, like, what's your answer? It's like, play him as a 9 ahead of Jackson, and Jackson plays as a winger. No, Jackson's a bad winger. It doesn't work. Like, this is, I think, the difficult thing, where, like, I wouldn't be shocked if everybody decides to wipe their hands of it in the summer. It's just, all right, didn't work. He doesn't fit quite right. We'll move him on and we'll go from there. And that's fine. I would rather not do that, but it's fine. Never as a winger. Once I saw him make Rico Lewis look good, I felt the way I thought he was fine against Man City as a winger. I think people overreacted that game. I thought he was perfectly competent as a winger. I would like to see it. Defend as a winger, come inside as a 10. I think it would be fine. Have a fullback holding width. I think it's a totally reasonable. Yeah, I wouldn't have Nkunku as the width holder. I'd have him as, like, left winger come into 10, like what Felix was. Something like that. That's probably where I would skew. Do you think you can play him and Palmer as 8s if you have a bigger space to destroy behind them? No. If you had, like, peak N'Golo Kante behind them, sure. Maybe. Like, I don't know. I think I don't think he does enough defensive work if you play him as an 8 to get away with that. Like, I really don't. Like, I think your defensive structure is very compromised that way. I think that's very difficult to do. But I don't know. unless you committed to something that was like really man marky all the time, maybe. But I don't think so. I don't think that's a viable. I don't think that's a viable. Sometimes ball will go in, sometimes this ass your shit. Yeah, like I don't think it's quite a sometimes ball go in game, but it's not far off. His best position is left back on the transfer list for when Dortmund or someone come knocking in the summer. Maybe. I'm really just waiting for the Maresca presser to come out because I'm so curious to see what he says. I'm so curious to see what he. I'm so confused why. I'm so confused why people are so fixated on João Felix today. Like what? I don't get it. Why are people so fixated on João Felix today? Oh, look, Samuel. I feel like Felix is such a strange player. I wish he would give up on trying to score and lean into his chance creation. I feel like whether it's luck or incompetence, I feel like he can't score reliably. I don't agree. I feel the opposite. I think he should lean into his scoring and not his chance creation. I mean, the guy's like a pretty reliably plus finisher for his whole career. I think last year's like, yeah, scored a lot of goals, and he has consistently skewed more shooter than creator. I don't know, man. The guy is like pretty useful. Like this is small sample size, but if I go, let me see. I think I can fade Conference League. Like in Conference League is what it is. These are gargantuan creation number. These are gargantuan stat output number. Most of it's non-penalty XG. I don't know, man. I think he's getting a bit of a bad rap, which like takes a lot of effort. Welcome. Is due for his press conference soon. Stay tuned. Let's see. We'll go until Maresca talks, and then we'll get at it. This sucks. This sucks. Actually, maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll go jump onto Gold Stream. Plainton. How about that? All right, we're gonna wrap it up here. I hope you enjoyed the. I hope you enjoyed the first live watch along. Maybe we'll try again for Palace, and if we lose again, then that's it. Then we'll never do this again. But it was fun to chat with you all for 3 hours, even if Chelsea sucked, lost. But what are you gonna do? It happens from time to time. Say la vie, my friends. It is what it is. Anyways, as always, enjoy the soccer.